Hello dears, time for voiceover again already. So I drew Wilbur's Origin SMP character, but with my screen turned black and white. Unfortunately, the screen recording didn't show it, so you'll have to take my word for it. But that's enough introduction, so let's get into the video. And if you like the video, you can like and subscribe, but you don't have to. Okay, so we started off with a nice yellow, but a little bit too on the greener side of things. But I was mostly going off of memory for this video, which I have very bad memory with something that I don't want to look at often. I often forget which color I'm using. So a lot of these colors don't match all too much, though I think this yellow wasn't too bad of all things. And now we go into the dreaded blues. The blues did not match at all. Also, I had no idea what a phantom looked like. I could not remember for the life of me. I'd only seen them like once in the game. I'm usually like lower to the ground, so I went off purely what I could remember from when I saw them, which you could tell because I essentially reversed the colors on the wings when we get to that. But yeah, for the design I'll talk about, well, we're going on to other colors that don't really matter, but I use the little scales that are on the phantom. I put them on the edge of the little coat thing, I'm not quite sure what it is, that he's wearing, so it looks kind of just like it's mimicking the pattern. But you can see that is a lot more yellow than I had probably intended. I intended a much more brown color. And then we go into the pants, which are much more red leaning, but they're a little bit better, definitely. They could have been a little bit more doled out, quite saturated, but still, for not remembering where any of the colors are, it's not too bad. Oh, and I forgot to fill in a little spot right there. Now we're just onto the face, where I just put in, skin tone was always hard for me. I always lean to either too saturated or too dulled out. This was luckily not too bad because I'm usually not the best at it. The brown, not too bad either. I was able to get a somewhat more saturated in the eye, but not that much. The brown, pretty good. I remember that side of the spectrum a little bit better than others. I use it a lot, so. Then the hoodie, and the little beanie, I mean. But it not too bad. Probably would have preferred going to like a more red, less orangish, but still good. Alright, I'm feeling happens a lot. Oh, and the gold. That was way too orange, but I couldn't see it, so. Darker colored boots. I knew I wanted them to be darker. I was like a dark, like a leather boot, but they don't. All the browns don't particularly match. They're all over the place. Right, and this little goblet thing. I'm not quite sure. I just wanted him to be holding something. I wasn't quite sure what, so I was like, maybe a cup. But the cup is a triangle. I tried to make it rose tinted because I had seen rose tinted glasses currently, or like recently. But yeah, it was a way too orange for rose. And tried to do good lighting, but it was a little hard with everything black and white. I knew that the phantom was mostly blue, but I wasn't sure what kind. When I actually looked back, it should have been a lot more like a royal blue color, but I ended up starting with what I thought would be the darkest, which was a dark purple, which I was wrong. Also, if you'll see when I redo this, but with the colors on, I made it so that the wing, like, bony parts was actually the Phantom, which is like a lighter color that looks more like a gray bone color, and the blue was actually the webbing of the wings, not the little bony parts, or fingers as I like to call them. But yeah. Oh, and I put some scales on the face. I later just didn't do that, mostly because I was lazy and didn't want to, but I also thought it looked a little bit better design-wise. I thought maybe I'm not the best at drawing scales, so I didn't do more work than I had to. Oh yes, and then that again the tail actually had no blue on it at all, but I couldn't remember, so. And then we go into a lighter. I knew I wanted to try and do some sort of scale effect. You can barely even see it on the screen, but I'm just furiously smashing with my Apple Pen to try and get a scale effect with the flat brush, I believe. Yeah, you can barely see it, but probably should have chosen a bit more of a lighter color. I tried to not go too light because I couldn't see what was happening, but yeah. And then you can see I wanted the scales to be the same color as the shirt. You can see later, yeah, but it was a lot more accurate, honestly, but I didn't put the dark purple. I didn't quite realize, because I have a bad memory, so I couldn't remember. Yeah, and then I put the tips for a little bit more of a sky blue, not exactly, but a lighter. Honestly, I should have been going more with that color and a little bit of a darker royal blue, but that's too late. Ah yes, and the dreaded webbing. I did not remember the bone colors at all, so I did not use gray once in this piece. But I did a lighter, like, not a sea green, almost, color that was a little desaturated. Probably a little too desaturated, should have been lighter. But that's okay. Yeah, you can see me, I didn't use the reference layer type for this one because I just didn't want to. Also, I do like the little holes between the lines every once in a while, more sketchy looking. That's the little lines to try and do the webbing. I was particularly proud of this tail. Not sure why. I think it reminded me of, like, I don't know why dinosaurs is what came to mind, but they just did. I don't know. If you know what kind of dinosaurs that maybe looks like, put it in the comments. I will actually probably research it because I don't know what dinosaur that is. I would like to know the name of it. I used a blend tool and it was able to, like, make it so it was smaller and I could get the little webbing, and I thought it looked cool. Yes, and this is afterwards when I decided to let myself use the hue, saturation, and I can't remember the third, but those tools to try and see if I could use that alone to get the colors right. Again, not looking at what a Phantom looks like and everything. It didn't work too well. I for some reason wanted the wing webbing to be green. I'm not sure where that came from. But yeah, and I think that is about done. So I will leave the rest for you guys to see in peace.